Okay, so typically before the intro, I have a clip during the video to be a little bit of an attention getter so that you all are interested and get hype for what's going to be in the video. That's not what's happening here. All right, everybody? That's not what's happening here. So I'm telling y'all, if you guys haven't seen part 1 about New Year's resolutions and how to achieve your goals, well then go back and watch part 1. Because in this video, we're putting it all together and we're making it happen.
When adversity came, I could have fell apart, but I chose instead to follow my heart. When adversity comes, I will never run, I will adjust, adapt, and overcome. Vision.
Woo! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope, and let's get right into it. So, we are in this video, we're putting two things together from the last video about why you're struggling with your New Year's resolutions, those goals, and we're gonna put it all together a little bit here and really build the recipe for being able to achieve those New Year's resolutions and those goals, okay? Now, if you're interested in what we got going on here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Leave me a comment about what your goals are, what your New Year's resolutions are, so we could talk about that, move forward, and have a conversation. So, we're going to put this all together here, all right? We discussed mindset being the reason why we're struggling with our goals, okay? Now, here's the thing. We are going to dive in here, and once you start getting your mindset right, now we can start talking about what comes next, all right? So I got a list of a few things here, 3 things specifically that we're going to implement with our mindset to make sure that it's impossible to be able to not, like those double negatives here, impossible to not achieve those goals. So we are going to achieve those goals, okay? So here we go. Number 1, and this is almost a shameless plug, but it's the truth. And the fact of the matter is, and I'm not going to dive into it here because I talked about it in a prior video. Number 1, first and foremost, is self-efficacy, okay? Self-efficacy is defined as one's ability or belief in themselves to be able to produce a certain task. So your belief in yourself to produce a task, your belief in yourself to get those goals and those New Year's resolutions. How do you build your self-efficacy? We're going to throw up here the thumbnails of those 2 videos, okay? And the importance of building them, building your self-efficacy and how to make it worth with figuring out your goals, okay? It's super important to build that self-efficacy. It's essential. Because if it's essential, you'll do it great and it'll be satisfactional. I don't know. Just putting it out there, Disney reference for those who are with me. Okay, so self-efficacy. First and foremost, number 1, we can't forget it. How to build your self-efficacy. Your belief in yourself to produce the task, the belief in yourself to be able to get to that goal, okay? And how to build it. It's so important to be able to have a strong self-efficacy because it works on a spectrum, okay? But we want to be at the top of that spectrum. We want to be all the way to that side. There's no possible way that we can think that we're not going to be able to produce that task. So having a strong self-efficacy is extremely important. All right, number 2. So we got our self-efficacy in place, all right? And we're starting to put some things together for this recipe. And, you know, I'm not a big fan. I keep on saying recipe. So we got to cook something, right? I'm not a big fan of Melting Pot because Melting Pot kind of blends everything together. You know, this is our salad, right? We're all unique individuals. So this is our salad here. All right. We're all different. So we got some greens, we got some reds, you know, not just Christmas though. We got carrots in there, onions, whatever. It's a salad of different things that we're putting together so that We can achieve our goals consistently. Now, the next thing is, for number 2, is expectations. Now, when we're talking about expectations, right? I mean, let's think about pro athletes for a second, okay? Pro athletes, they got to put in practice. They got to put in the shots or the weightlifting, the energy to work on their craft every day. The same goes for someone who's a music artist or a sculptor, different things like that. They have to practice their craft to be able to achieve and create some great works of art, okay? The same goes for the real estate agent, right? They got to be able to be on time with their deadlines and figure all these different things out. Now, the reason why I use the word expectations is because everybody has a certain list of expectations that they need to get to so that they can achieve their goals. So for me, for myself, I have certain expectations that I expect from myself every day that I'm able to work with my clients the best that I possibly can. And so, for example, I meet a new client, they come into my office or we meet virtually on Zoom. We are visionofhope.com for coaching. But so we meet virtually on Zoom or they come into my office and I have 2 things. See, I'm not a big rule person, okay? I'm not a big rule person, but 2 things. I say, 1, when you come into my office or you come into my Zoom room, I'm going to work as hard as I can for you once we get connected and once we start working together. I just need the same from you in return. That I'm going to give 100%. I need you to give 100%. That 50-50 don't work. That's a failing grade. That averages out to failing. We both got to give 100 so that we can give our best. Okay, that's the only way this is going to work. And so I say, that's number 1, all right? That 100, that hard work piece. Number 2 expectation is that you will always have 100% of my respect. Okay? I just ask for the same in return. And now nobody's perfect, right? So if there is ever a moment where you do feel disrespected by me, well, then let's have a conversation and let's make sure we're on the same page. So those are some expectations that I have of myself every day, just to name a few, to be able to give my best effort as well as respect. Respect is so important these days and always, right? And so those are so important. So expectations. When you're trying to achieve a goal, when you're trying to break through for your New Year's resolution, you gotta have certain expectations from yourself on a daily basis. Okay? That's the only way you're gonna start seeing progress. You gotta hold yourself to a standard. Have those expectations be like, okay, I expect myself to write down this to-do list every night and then to get it done the next day, Now, I didn't say routine because routines don't work for everybody, So expectations, figure out what you need to do, figure out your expectations for that specific goal, and maybe do some research about other people who have achieved that goal. So then you're able to figure, okay, they do this, this, and this. That might not work for me that much, but the other 3 things, I can hold myself to that standard and to those expectations to be successful and get that goal and get that dream, etc. Expectations, super important. Hold yourself to the standard. Now, finally, the last thing, and I guess a little bit of a story about me, I guess. So once again, as someone who lost vision at the age of 16 and was worried about what next looked like, I had never met any other blind people, and so I'm trying to figure out what next looks like, okay? So I try to figure out how to hold myself to different expectations, and I try to figure out how to move forward in some of these different situations and build self-efficacy, right? And part of this journey as a blind individual is you're trying to figure it out, okay? And learn as you go and try to put everything together in this salad we're talking about. And the fact of the matter is, you're not going to have it perfectly right all the time. You know, I didn't know how to cross streets as a blind person. I've talked about that. I didn't know how to use the computer as a blind person. I had no idea. But the fact of the matter is, what has helped me to be successful, what has empowered me to be successful, is the fact that I had follow through. That's it. Not only on my jump shot, but follow through for the goals. Okay? Follow through on my self-efficacy. Follow through on my expectations. Follow through on everything it is that you're doing to make sure you're holding yourself to those expectations and to those standards so you can continue moving forward. Follow through is so important for everything that you're able to do and will do and can do and should do and will do and all that good stuff, all right? Because the fact of the matter is, it's not about if you become successful, it's when. Okay? And that in turn is all about the follow through, because you're not going to always get it right the first time, second time, third time, fourth time. For those of you who did go back and watch part 1 or didn't need to go back and they had already watched it, for J.K. Rowling, it took 12, right? And so we need to recognize that follow through is important. Keep going, be persistent, because that's what this is all about here. And then there's no way you can't achieve your New Year's resolutions, your goals. And here's the thing. I'm saying New Year's resolutions because of the time of the year and going through it. But the fact of the matter is, it's always the time to start new goals and keep pushing forward for whatever it is you want. You know that you can do it. You know that you want it. And it's not about if, it's about when you get your goals. And with that, we are visionofhope.com for coaching. We are visionofhope.com for the merch. And remember, not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope.
When adversity came, I could have fell apart, but I chose instead to follow my heart. When adversity comes, I will never run. I will adjust, adapt, and overcome. Vision.